I'm so excited to have both coaches from both high schools in Hoover with us today. Very excited about the playoffs. We have Coach Vakakis from Spain Park with his quarterback, Brock Bradley. We have Coach English from Hoover High School with his quarterback, Mac Beeson, and we thought we would just have an opportunity to sit down and talk with them today. So, Brock, you're going to get the first question today. And that is, you've played in 12 football games so far this year. So what have you learned about your team through those games?
Yes, sir. Just the importance of team culture. Coach V talks to us all the time about playing for each other and not just with each other. So I think that's been a big key to our success this year.
Coach English, you've won some close games this year with some really exciting finishes. How do you work to build that type of resiliency with your team so they continue fighting no matter the circumstances?
Well, it starts in our preparation. We battle it out in practice every single day, and each and every day there's some period throughout the practice that we have what we call good on good. And so we throw out schemes. We make it as intense and live as possible for those guys. And so it starts in practice. But those guys are battle tested all year. They come together in those big moments. Even when we've gone in overtime several times, there's been no stress on the sideline. Everybody's just strapped up, ready to roll. So really proud of those guys and how they respond to that adversity. And we talk all the time, it's not necessarily the adversity that defines you, it's how you respond to it. Our guys have done a great job of that all year.
Coach Vakakis, your teams have steadily improved each year under your guidance as head coach. What are a few things that you've done in your time at Spain Park that have really improved the football program?
Well, I think just the culture. I think we do a lot of hard things. Our kids, we're in the weight room 4 days a week. We were in there 4 days last week. We're in there 4 days this week, nonstop. And our kids are used to doing hard things. And I think, you get high school kids to voluntarily do hard things consistently. Good things happen. And, we surround the kids with great coaches and a really positive staff that celebrates success. We hold them accountable on their own, and I tell these kids, the coach all the time, treat them like our own, and just be consistent. But I don't know. I think our kids are tough kids. It's not easy to be a part of our football program. It's not easy.
All right, Mac. Wild ending to the game on Friday night. This was your second overtime game of the season, but it was triple overtime. So talk to us about what that experience was like, having three overtimes and the almost and the what ifs, and then you end up coming out on top.
Yeah. It was a great game all around. We fought hard all the way into the end, and going into triple overtime, I just feel like the atmosphere kind of carried us into that game. Like the crowd was crazy, everybody was up, everybody was cheering for us. Coach did a great job. We had a couple plays dialed up, and some of them didn't go our way. But we were able to get our kicking game in. I think Matthew J. was 6 for 6? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was 6 for 6, carrying us out for the win. So it was great.
It was a fun game. At least the outcome was. Coach V, talk to us a little bit about Brock's leadership as quarterback and what he has meant to this team this year.
Well, I think it goes back to the first time I met him when I got here. He was an 8th grader at Berry Middle School, and it was over Christmas break, and he had basketball practice at Berry, and he came down. I wanted to meet with him, so he came down and met with me. And he had a notebook paper full of questions for me. So he interviewed me as an 8th grader, and that never happened before. So, just from the beginning of meeting Brock, he's very level-headed, but he's one of our hardest workers. And any coach will tell you when the best players are the hardest workers, you got a chance. And there's no doubt he's one of the hardest workers we have. And obviously he's talented, and kids feed off of him. So we're blessed to have him, and he's a cool character. He's a perfectionist, so he doesn't like when things don't go right. But he's calm in the storm, and our kids, they feed off him.
So if our HR department ever needs assistance with interviews, we know who
Brock Bradley is the one.
So Coach English, describe the impact that Mac has had on Hoover football this year.
Well, one, the kids gravitate to him. He's a natural-born leader, and we haven't had him his entire high school career, but the kids voted him as a captain. And so they look up to him. They know our success runs through him. And, the the preparation is key. I tell people all the time, football especially is 95% preparation throughout the year and leading up into those 10, 12, 13 games if you're lucky. So his preparation going into the year was phenomenal. And even throughout the year, he's become more and more control over our offense. He comes over and gives us feedback on the sideline. So just does a great job in the game. He took control over it Friday night. I texted him Saturday morning, and I was like, man, you took control. Like, you owned it, and every single series you were in control. And so our team feeds off of that. And so can't say enough about him and his preparation, and which ultimately leads to his success on the field.
All right, Brock, fun question here. If Coach V could coach any other sport in the school besides football, what would it be and why?
That's a good question. I'd probably say baseball, just because I've gotten to see Coach V actually coach his son in baseball, Sammy, at times, and it's a team sport, so he's great with teams, and I think he'd just be a successful baseball coach as well.
We'll keep that in mind, Coach. we have a need. Mac, if Coach English had chosen any other occupation other than being a teacher and coach, what would it have been and why?
I'd probably say like a doctor, somewhere in there. He's very organized. He comes in every day and always has a game plan for us. So I feel like he's very organized, so he knows what he can do.
Okay, good. Coach, we need medical assistance.
I don't know if we go that far.
All right, Coach Vakakis, you're going to travel 3.5 hours south on Friday to take on Saraland, runner-up last year, champions in 2022. Long journey on Friday. Describe your week of preparation and what fans should expect to see on Friday night.
Well, in terms of preparation, we're not going to change much. We're going to do what we did going into week 1 and week 2. It's a different opponent on Friday night. But they're very talented. We're going to have to play well. We're going to have to, when you get a chance to make plays, we're going to have to make them and try to create turnovers and create some havoc, pre-snap on defense. But it's obviously a big game, and you're going down there playing a team that they've been there before, and our kids haven't. But what our team, I expect our team to get out there and just play hard and get out there and play with class and represent our families the right way, represent their names the right way. But our kids, I don't think the moment's going to be too big for them. Our kids are used to big moments and playing in big games, and our kids have responded the correct way all year. So, win or lose, we're going to go down there and start swinging as soon as we get off the bus. But we have a confident team. There's no doubt about that.
Coach English, you're also going to be traveling. You guys have about a 2.5-hour journey, I believe, to Central Phoenix City. Defending state champs in 7A last year. What do you see when you look at them on tape, and what should fans expect to see on Friday night?
Yeah, one, defensively, they like to man you up and do some things in the secondary that can confuse people a little bit. But basically, they're gonna say we're better athletes than you are. I feel very confident in our roster that very few teams in our state can out-athlete us. So we're going to step up to the challenge. If they want to play that game, we're definitely willing to do that. And obviously, offensively, Coach Nix does a great job in preparation, and they sling the ball over the yard and make you cover the entire field. So our defense is ready. They settle in as the game goes on. We get better and better. And so really excited to kind of see our matchup down there. It's going to be a big-time environment and big-time football. So really happy for our guys, and they've had a great week so far, and look forward to continue that into Friday.
We're going to be flipping to see where Dr. Maddox will be on Friday. We're going to be tails.
And we'll be heads.
Okay, let's see where this goes. If I drop it, we'll do it again. All right, so I'm not flipping it over. It is tails.
You going to drive the bus for us?
Yes, I'm going to Saraland.
There you go.
Well, on behalf of Hoover City Schools, we're extremely excited for Spain Park and Hoover High. And Mac, Brock, we wish you guys the best on Friday night. We'll be pulling hard for you and hope for the best, and hopefully we can have 2 more victories on Friday night. So good luck to you both.
Appreciate it. Thank you.